Hi everyone, so today I thought I'll do a very quick way of creating something for your, in fact for a frame. So if you're someone who really loves to display your art in a frame and put it in on your walls, it's a great talking point when you have guests over. You can show them your art and talk about it. It's great. So or if you are not into that stuff, you can just do this as I call it stress relief because it's so fun to do. It's super quick. It's the easiest abstract little piece you can do. I think, like, even if this is going to be your first ever watercolor experience, you will not be able to mess this up. So first of all, pick colors that will be complementing, colors that will look good together. So for that I would recommend you just experiment, because every one of us has a different preference. Some of us prefer pinks, others blues, greens, whatever it could be. Today I'm going to use a variety of these greens. So all of these, this is my Daniel Smith palette. Everything except for Schminke Horadam Gold. I'm going to use gold today as well. So basically it will be 4 colors, probably 3 or 4 colors. So what I'm going to do is I'll make sure you see the palette. I'll just zoom out a little bit. And here I have my swatch card ready. So I am going to start by just wetting a rectangular shape right here. Hope you can see it. And a quill brush is really great for this type of thing because it holds a lot of water, and that's what we want. So look at it from an angle and make sure it's glossy, so it means the water hasn't dried out. Okay, and then the other thing I like to do is making sure that the edges aren't straight. The less straight they are, the better. So I'm going to go into green gold now while it's wet and just dab it like this. Touch it and then touch it in another area. You can do pages and pages of this and just find out what you like best. For me, like I said, for me personally, I like this type of combo. We've got this rich green gold. So the second color was sap green. And then I'm going to dab it like that into the existing color so that they kind of have a nice flow. And then with a wet brush, I'm going to create blooms and just touch it. Then, as you can see, I left an area there with no watercolor, and that is because I want to add gold. Now you can add the gold into the colors, but it just won't be as noticeable. It will mix and kind of spread, but it won't be sort of too golden like, if you like. So the best thing to do here is just wait a little and then add on top and make sure you've got the gold. And that is pretty much it. You could play with it, and for example, if you just do this, you can create, you're taking off some color, but you're also creating some textures. So if I have too much water there, which is distracting me, I'm just going to go back in and load my brush with the gold and add it again like so. And then mostly with just the color, not much water. I can do this. So you can play with it and create really interesting textures as much as you like, and then let it dry. And while it's actually drying, let's do another one. This time I'll use some yellows. This is so fun. Quickest thing ever. I find something abstract like this it looks really nice in a frame if you make a nice frame collage. And for example, this was Indian yellow, in case you're interested. And then you can you know, paint some other things and just have a nice little variety there. This is lemon yellow, going to green gold, and I just want to leave this one more on a yellow side, and then I'm going to go in my gold like so. I'll dab it also in some other areas, but like I said, it won't be as visible. And that is it. So I have now used a heat gun, and I have made sure I have dried it. Like most of the areas are pretty dry. Let me just zoom in for you. But I wanted to show you something. You can create extra textures. So if you can see, this had like a big puddle of water, so it's still a little bit wet. At this point, if you take your tissue and dab into it, you create extra texture. You create this sort of like a nice little element to it, and I quite like it. So if I'm going to do the same thing on the yellow, so I've got one here, one there, one here. As you can see, it picks it up from the paper, and it looks quite nice. Just an extra element. And look at this gold. Isn't this gorgeous? Imagine having like this hanging in your frame, and when the light would hit it, you can see this gorgeousness. So yeah, this is it. And you can see here, when it mixed with a lot of water, it's not as dominant, but still you can see the beautiful colors. So you can play with it, and like I said, you can pick out your favorite colors. Or the other thing you can do is, if you have a few frames already hanging there as a collage, you can just look at what colors are in those frames. If they're more reds or pinks, you can then either create something to offset it or go with the same theme and see how that looks. So thanks for watching, and see you soon.